Alright guys, how's it going? Awesome Soul here, and welcome to the beginnings of a brand new series. And that is obviously StoneHearth, as you can see. Now, for those familiar with the channel, will know that I have done a game somewhat similar to this, but this game is actually still in production, whereas the other one is, well, unfortunately, stopped production. Never left early access, although this game is in early access. Hopefully this has better luck, but it does seem like they are updating it quite often, and it's not just a single person working on it. So, without further ado, I have started a peaceful playthrough just to get my bearings, but we will hop into a new one. This is the story of a brave band of settlers from select your kingdom. So we got the Ascendancy. I can English, don't worry. Or Rhea's children. I think I will go with the Ascendancy, because these guys are from the desert, and I prefer forests, although you can actually choose your location. Settlers from the Ascendancy, a prosperous and industrious kingdom, seeking new lands and adventure as they set off for a temperate forest or a dry desert. Now, like I said earlier, I think I will go for the temperate forest. Or in this case, dark moor forest. It seems to be the thing that pops up every time. I don't quite see a way to change that, but it doesn't really matter. So, difficulty. Peaceful? No. Normal? Yeah, probably. And hard? Well, seeing as this is my first playthrough, I do believe I will set off on a normal adventure. So, this is the story of a brave band of settlers from the Ascendancy, a prosperous and industrious kingdom. Seeking new lands and adventure, they set off for Darkmoor Forest, a location that is sure to be an inspiring place to start anew. I also can English, don't worry you guys. I'm not broken. Begin. So, I can just re-roll, but it's honestly completely random, so I think I am okay here. Now, what exactly am I going to start with? I can get the herbalist staff for healing, and get a weaver's spindle, but that's fairly easy to make. Wooden sword wouldn't be too difficult. All this stuff isn't really that much of a problem, to be honest. So, food. Do I need food? I think what I'm going to do here is grab the trapper's knife, because I won't be able to make one of those for a while. Everything else here I can get very early on. So, trapper's knife it is. Hopefully, I made the right choice. And embarking on this quest, where will we land? Okay, so I think we found ourselves a decent place. If I drop us down about here, we can have a good rating on everything. Lots of wildlife, although it seems like we're always going to have very high wildlife, which is definitely good, because we brought that trapper's knife. Trees and plants, yeah, one, but I mean, that's in our local area. We just have to spread out to gather more. And minerals, there should be plenty in that mountainside up there. Fingers crossed, this is indeed the right choice. We've got our grizzled warrior in the background. Unfortunately, ours won't be looking quite like that for a little while. A nice, fancy, gemmed sword there. You know, like the little gem in the middle. Anyways, hopefully everything goes smoothly. And we've landed. So, now we just have to place down our marker. And let me just survey the area. Alright, so there's the edge. Plenty of trees up there. A lot of mountain here. Okay, we should be perfectly fine on stone. Just putting that out there. And we've got a much smaller lake down here. So I think what would be the perfect spot for our little town would be, ooh, right beside the berry patch. Good. See? I definitely got lucky here because I was saying that, you know, maybe I can find berries because I didn't bring any food with me. So yes, right beside the berry bushes. It's the most I've ever seen, honestly. So, let's go with Soultopia, just for old time's sake. And here we are. We have landed. So first things first, we need to clear out this area. So let's chop down all these trees. All these trees. There we go. Okay. The little marker at the top was being a bit of a bother. So, now these people have nowhere to put all of that stuff, we will now actually have to go ahead and build a stockpile area. For now, I think I will just leave it here. That should be okay. And, yeah, we can put down everything. That's a lot of wood. Hopefully, this is enough storage space. Ooh, I don't think it's going to be enough storage space. So, think what I'm going to have to do is just already make a second one. Right there. And yeah, for now, everything can go in that one. We don't really have too much of a problem when it comes to designating storage. So, first things first, or well, not technically first, but early on, obviously, good to gather those food bits, because we have no food bits. So, we do have our knife there. So I think what would be a good idea is to figure out who exactly is going to be our trapper. Now, body, I'm guessing body would be a good thing to have for a trapper, because the higher your body stat, the faster you go. So that would be important if somebody's running around constantly. Mind, spirit, body, 2, 2, and 5. Oh, you're really good at everything. Okay, you're gonna be... Yeah, you're gonna be our soldier once I get a sword. Bane over there is not gonna do anything. 3, 4, 2... Yeah, sure. Okay. You, sir, can be our trapper. Very nice. And let's watch this transformation. There we go. So they've donned the red gloves of blood, I assume. It's blood. Because, you know, little animals getting murdered. That's always fun. A grizzled traveler has appeared and promptly disappeared because I was too slow to actually pick that up. Fantastic. Actually, grizzled traveler has appeared. Okay, basket, let's see. Just celebrated Embarkation Day, eh? Buck up. You look like you could benefit from something tasty. How about I give you 1 basket of berries, 1 basket of corn, and 1 rabbit jerky? Yeah, I don't see why not. Thank you. So, don't really see a whole lot of wildlife around here. Unfortunately. Okay, yeah, what I will do here is get the trapping zone to over there. That works. So hopefully our trapper will be safe enough over in that direction. Now, the next thing we need to do is actually get ourselves a worker. Or, well, not a worker, but a carpenter, rather. So, mind stat would be good for that. And I think Bane is just the person we need. So, change job to carpenter. There we go. I should probably point out that these people need names, so like I did in my old series, I will be taking name suggestions in the comment section down below. Make sure that you actually, you know, give me the name of the person you want to rename. Don't just be like, oh, this name would be cool, and then I name the wrong person, and then you angrily rewrite another comment saying, oh, I didn't mean that person. Yeah. Anyways, so next up on our agenda would be to build a crafting bench. Just a basic one, craft a single one, and do we have enough to... No, we don't have enough. Plenty of wood, but we need some herbs. So, if I can't find some herbs around here, I might have to embark somewhere else. Okay, so there's some herbs. Let's harvest you, and you, and you, and you, and you. There we go. That should be enough for at least a little while. So once we have that, we will actually be able to set up our first house. So I think what I will do is just make sure everything is gathered up and then build that house for you guys. So, night has fallen, and we still don't have a place to sleep, although I have made a few beds, so what I will be doing right now is just lazily plonking these beds down out in the open, because, you know, that seems safe. Let's go like that, and that. Perfect. That will do for now. Hopefully these guys can relax somewhat around the campfire, and they don't fall asleep on me like they did in my little trial sandbox mode. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but hey, it was a learning experience. So, what also was a learning experience was the first little hut I made was a wee bit on the small side. So that kind of reminds me. Let's remove these just so I know what the beds will look like when they're actually inside this hut of mine. So without further ado, I think it is a perfect time to start building a house. So, open the building designer, and we will start with our foundation. Now, I do like this floor pattern here, just because, well, it's a lot more tiled than some of the other ones. So let's try and get close enough to this tree. It's a little close to that flag, so let's move it back there, seems good, and drag it, let's go 9, and 9 by 13, but then sort of add some more flair to the side here, perhaps, something like that. And then I could also add a workshop area on the side, which, you know what, I will do that. So let's add a stone floor over here. Let's jot that out to 11, and let's do that there. Okay, so next up we will have the walls. How are we going to do this, though? You know what? Undo. Let's just go with a simple building to start out with. Seems like a good idea. So I think that could use a bit more floor space. So what I'm going to do is take the floor and let's jut it out 2 in and then like so. 4, 5, yeah, there we go. It's going to be a very interesting design there, but I think the beds can go there, and we can have some sort of cookery area, maybe, inside, perhaps? I don't know, who knows? So I think what we can also do is... white walls? Do we want white walls? Very medieval looking. Not bad, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. So we've got ourselves this. So let's plop down our furniture. So our bed will rotate around. Hopefully I made the right choice here. To there. and there. Okay, perfect. It's almost like I planned this. So what we need now is a door. So let's grab our door, and do you want to go right in the middle or offset? I think what we can do is offset the door, grab some windows, and have a single window like so. Looks like I've been building all night. And then some... Actually, no, let's get the roof on and see what that's going to look like. So do we want this roof? Or do we want a different roof? And that's very... That's a wooden roof. Okay. For our starter house, since we don't really have access to stone, actually that's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Not a bad little house, and I think what we might need is a extra tall window up top here. Just for added decoration. And then some small windows can go along the side here. Like so. And there we have it. Our very first house. So, yes, that's good enough. Finish editing. Building of the name. Let's go with the... what are we gonna call this thing? How about the... Starter hut? Sure. And save. My new building template. Soul... Starter hut. Hit? No. Hut. There we go. And boom. Alright, people. Get building. So we've got our daily update. Very close to food, morale is good, and net worth is, slightly lacking, I would have to say. And our population is still about 7, so that's good. Food, actually, we're not doing that bad on food. I think we have actually captured a few things. Yeah, we have. There we go. Very nice. Although, not so nice for the poor little critter inside. So what we will be doing next episode, once this little hut is built, we will be filling the inside with whatever we need, and I'm thinking some sort of dining area would be a good idea. But on top of that, we will also be getting ourselves a farm set up. So we will get our carpenter here. Hopefully he will have a name by then. And we will make a hoe, and we will let somebody become a farmer. So tune in for the next episode, and I of course have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.